What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Pure Evil MMA. I'm your host, as always, Evil Eddie, and today we got a special interview. We got Yemi Oduwole. Is that how you pronounce your last name? I've interviewed a lot of fighters with some crazy names.
Perfect.
Because, there's Owale Bamboje. It took me so long to get that name down. You have a kind of similar name. What is that, French? What kind of last name is that?
That's an African name.
All right, so let's jump into things, man. Right off the rip, let's jump into the meat and potatoes of things. You recently had a fight that was supposed to go through. What exactly happened here with the weight cut and everything? And what kind of advice could you share to other fighters out there that may try to do what you did?
Yeah, I think it's just my body. It's getting bigger, I guess. My limit was gonna be 165, and I told the promoter like months before the fight, like I want to fight at 165, but they were pushing for 160, 162. So I got too excited because I like to fight. I love to fight. I will fight every week if I can. I'm like, yeah, I'll do it 162, and I guess I messed up. I was really looking forward to that fight, but
so really quick, right there, what are the advantages for a fighter to go down in a weight class, and what are some of the disadvantages? Obviously, the weight cut is a very difficult thing. First, have you ever experienced anything like that for people out there that don't understand what you have to go through when you're cutting weight like that? What was that experience like?
yeah, it's terrible, but I'm not complaining. Like I know this is part of my job, so like I don't think about it too much, but I always try to do my best. But I guess my body's just changing, and like I'm growing. Like Alex says, like it's my body growing, so
Yeah.
it doesn't for me to be killing myself to go down in weight. Um, the advantage, I think it comes down to the wrestling. If you're fighting somebody way bigger than you, and they have a wrestling advantage on you and laying on you, that's how I lost my first professional fight. Dude just laid on me, and it was hard. So that's when I was thinking, oh, maybe I need to go down to 155. And I've tried, and it just wouldn't happen. So I'm not stressing it anymore. I'm gonna stay at 170. I perform way better. I don't have to kill myself making weight, and we'll see how it goes from there.
And man, you're on a 5-fight win streak right now. We're at the beginning of the year, so no matter what setbacks went into play so far, you're still on one hell of a win streak right now. And one thing that really sticks out about you is that you're a submission guy, and you've pulled up a submission that we've only seen a couple of times
No,
in the combat sports history.
I love striking. I love striking. My gym is Knuckle Up Fitness, and we're known for striking, multi striking. It just happens to be whenever I'm fighting, they want to take me down and all, and I never skip a jiu-jitsu class in my life. So, um, whatever happens down there is a whole different ball game when you're down there with me. So, but I prefer to stand up. I like to stand and bang. But whenever that happens, they try to take me down. So, all right, I got to put something up, and I don't want to be going for submissions like arm bars, um, chokes. I like to do something, something slick, something different.
And you pulled off the Peruvian necktie, man. And for people out there that don't understand how hard that is, bring us through how to get to that position to pull something like that off, so people out there that don't know what it is will have a little bit more respect on how you pulled it off.
Peruvian necktie. It's basically something you're just stuck in there. You're not. My leg is on your back. My hands on your neck. You're not getting out of it. It's just when I sunk it in, I know it's not getting out of that. Um, it started with me kicking him, and he timed the kick, and he took me down, and I swept him, and I just let it flow. I saw the neck. My coach already know what I was doing down there because I did it. So I did that before on my I think it was my last Army fight. I did the Peruvian necktie. I did it that the announcer, they didn't even know what it was. So they messed up the name. So I was like, okay, I'll do it again, and I did it that night. So I really enjoyed it.
So when you pull something like that off, is there kind of an itch to do something to top that, or like a twister? You're trying to go pull off a twister next time, maybe?
We don't know. I'm always like my teammates, my coaches, my jiu-jitsu coach. I'm always trying to one up him. So whatever he does, I feel like I have to do better. So Yeah, we don't know. Whatever, like, I'm very comfortable down there. I'm extremely comfortable.
So right now you're ready to fight. So when you're trying to get back in there, what are the plans looking forward? Because you got ready for a fight. You probably really got that itch.
Yeah, I'm all like I can fight tomorrow if I can. Like I'm at the gym right now. I never stop training. I'm always training. I'm just not gonna kill myself trying to make 155, 160, 160 something anymore. I'll stay at welterweight. I think we are talking to King of the Cage. They have a show in May. I think that's a go. And Z Promotions in Canada. Alex is working with them right now, and I think we are aiming for the end of March. So I'm ready. I'm ready to fight. I'm ready to fight. I'm not. I don't have to worry about cutting too much weight anymore. So just send me the contract. That's all.
Yeah, you're ready, man. You're definitely ready. When you go through something like that, it doesn't happen. You're probably so anxious. So another question I got on that topic is, going from lightweight to welterweight, would you like an in between? Would you like a 165? Would that make things a little bit better?
Dude, I'm telling you, if I think every promotion right now, like the lower promotions, are waiting on the UFC to open a 165 division. Once they open that, there'll be 165 everywhere, and I think that's where I'm very perfect at 165. Um, I think like a lot of fighters, like Dos Anjos is a really great fighter, but it's too small for 170 because I know Tyron Woodley and they cut a lot of weight. So Dos Anjos is too small for 170, but it's also too big for 155. So I'm kind of stuck in that. Like if they open a 165, that would be perfect.
Yeah,
And I'm really praying for that. They should open that soon.
there's a lot of competitors. Like right now, I say between lightweight and welterweight are two of the most stacked divisions throughout, the planet, really. So to open that up, you're opening up doors for so many more people and a lot more entertainment for fans
Right.
to tune in and be like, "Holy shit, wow, this is what it's about. This is the weight class I actually like."
Right. That's why I was trying to see if I know, yeah, like I said, if the big promotions UFC, Bellator do a 165 division, then any other promotions would be gladly um they'll make a division for that. You can put a belt on there. Um Kobe Covington, he doesn't want to fight Tyron Woodley. He thinks a 165 should be something he can open it up. I'll hop in there and see what happens.
Yeah, so it seems like not only are you a fighter and not only do you live day by day to learn more and more about mixed martial arts, but it also seems like you're a fan that you keep up with what's going on in the MMA scene. Do I pick that up right?
But yeah, you're absolutely right. I love fighting. I never miss any fight. Every weekend, UFC, Bellator, King of the Cage, ONE FC, all of that. I have all the I have all the apps on my iPad because, I mean, first of all, I'm a fan. Like I didn't even know what MMA was till I saw Anderson Silva. So I'm just a fan of fighting. Um, before I started with jiu-jitsu. Before I started with that, I was always watching UFC, GSP eras and all that. So I've always loved fighting.
And you bring up GSP. He just retired this week. So let me get your hot take on what you think he contributed to mixed martial arts. What did he add to our sport to help it move forward as time goes on?
Oh, GSP is the greatest, man. Those are my two favorite fighters, GSP and Anderson Silva, and I'm actually glad they didn't fight because I wouldn't want to pick a side from that. Um, I think what he did was very smart. I don't think you should be fighting past your prime, past 40. Like even me, when I'm 40 years old, I'm gonna hang it up. So I think what he did was smart. He opened a lot of doors to Canadian fighters. Is yeah, he's done a lot. He's done a lot.
Well, you hear from people like Anderson Silva, who recently fought against Israel Adesanya, and I've been talking about this a lot. It just doesn't seem like the eye of the tiger is there anymore, like that drive, that will to be champion. And he's mentioned it in a lot of his interviews. Like it's just fun to him at this stage in his career. And what did you think about Anderson's performance against Israel? I mean, he didn't look bad at all. He actually looked pretty good. His movement, it was all on point, but there was just something missing, right?
Right, there's something missing, and you have to think about it. Israel is a tricky fighter. So you have two tricky fighters fighting. That's all it was. But Israel's been watching Silva for so long. Like I've been watching Anderson Silva for so long. I know him so well. I know what he's about to do also. So you have that, and the range of Israel kind of mess with Anderson Silva. But like you said, it was having fun in there. It's not even about fighting anymore. I don't think he should be fighting right now, but hey, when you love fighting, you just have to do it.
Let's get a pros pick from you. We got Usman, who's trying to get the belt from Tyron Woodley. How do you see that fight going down? Who are you picking there?
Nigerian Nightmare. We're both Nigerian Nightmares. But, oh, man, that's I would have to go with Woodley. Usman is a come forward. I don't know if it's an African thing. We like to come forward. You give me whatever you got, I'm coming forward. I just think Tyron Woodley is a better wrestler, and he has that knockout power. So I'm gonna go with Tyron Woodley, and I already got my money on him. I always bet on him.
It adds fun to it, right? Well, we also got Ben Askren versus Robbie Lawler. Who do you have in that fight? Are you staying up there?
I'll pick. I love Robbie Lawler, but it's not looking great these days. Like you see what the science did to him, and Askren is just a dog, man. Like down there wrestling is a brutal man. So I'm gonna have to go with Ben Askren.
All right, so moving forward really quick, I got to ask you a couple questions here, man. I saw something really interesting. There's a promotion out there that is trying to stand out, be different, and the way that they're doing this is bringing in a trigon, which is a cage with just 3 sides. What would you think about that? I think that's so weird. I don't think that's going to work. I think that, the octagon or, the round shape works the best. Putting 2 people in a triangle, I don't know, it's kind of weird. What do you think about that?
Not trying to, yeah. I mean, when first off, it's a fight. You can put me in a parking lot, I'm gonna fight. It doesn't matter if it's octagon, is a square, is a forest somewhere. It's a fight. I'm gonna fight. But I feel like people are always trying to make money off of these things like bare knuckle boxing and all that.
Man, what do you think about bare knuckle boxing? Really quick.
I don't think I'll ever do. We created gloves for a reason, to protect ourselves. I actually have a teammate that fights for bare knuckle boxing. So, but it's not. I don't think it's something. If I'm to go away from MMA, I'll rather stick to regular boxing. Doing bare knuckle, hurting myself like that, I don't think it makes any sense. And that goes back to the what kind of cage was it again?
It's called a trigon, 3 sides, a triangle.
It's just somebody trying to waste their money, trying to be cool or something. I mean, they created the octagon for a reason, and you're trying to make it smaller or something. But we see how that goes.
Well, people usually like even with the octagon, there's a bigger octagon and a smaller octagon. People say the smaller octagon kind of makes for more excitement, where fighters pull the trigger a little bit more. They have to push a little bit more than if they had a more open space.
I think it's all crap. If you're, depends on your experience. If you know how to cut the cage off, you make the cage smaller. It doesn't matter how big it is. Just cut your opponent's off. I mean, yeah. I feel the smaller octagons are for army fighters, like the ones they have here in Georgia. It's much smaller than SFC or Valor fights. Those are like really big cage. Bellator, those are big cages. But like I said, your strategy, cut your opponents off. You make everything smaller. That's the whole point of it. You don't need to try to be tricky about it, making 3-sided octagons yeah.
Really quick, you say that you're keeping up on all the sports. You're talking about Bellator. Did you keep up on the heavyweight Grand Prix? And what are your thoughts on Fedor, man? I mean, he's still a legend. He made it to the finale, and people are fans are writing him off. How wrong is that? And what did you think of that performance? Is Ryan Bader on a new level or what?
I was one of those fans that wrote him off. Fedor, I think he's overrated. Honestly, I think Fedor is overrated. I would like to see him in the UFC, like fight the best guys, but that never happened. Well, honestly, I think it's just overrated. And yeah, Ryan Bader is getting up there.
So if
It
I told you, like,
it dropped them with the same punches. It tried to fake it to be like it's gonna shoot in, and they dropped the hands and they dropped them with the same. I think it dropped King Mo with the same punch, right?
yeah, yep, yep, the exact same punch.
Yep. Good luck. Good luck trying to beat Ryan Bader now, I guess.
Yeah, man. Well, you brought something up early on in this interview, and before we end it, I got to ask you this. You were talking about fighting over the age of 40. Uh, you look at somebody like Fedor, and you don't want him to get to the point where he's going in with matches like we saw with Chuck Liddell and Tito Ortiz. So what do you do with somebody like Fedor who doesn't want to hang up the gloves? Fans are still tuning in. What do you do with somebody like that?
This is why you need good people around you. This is why you need good coaches and good managers. You've done it. Like, what's the point?
Yeah.
What was the point past your prime? And yeah, exactly. You're looking at Tito and Chuck. When Tito finally beat Chuck and it was celebrating, I'm like, dude, you can't celebrate that. This man is past his prime. You can't do that. Yeah, I don't want that to happen to me. I'm gonna give it my best till I'm 40, and after 40, I think I'm gonna get knocked out. So
So right now you are ranked number 5 welterweight in Georgia on Tapology. You're on a 5-fight win streak. You're trying to get back there in May. Did you say? Did you say May? You're trying to get on King of the Cage.
March and May.
March.
I think Z Promotions, that's in Canada, Alberta, Canada. Yeah, by the end of March, we're working towards that, and then after that, I should be fighting in May for King of the Cage.
So last year, a huge thing that was stepping forward in mixed martial arts since Ultimate Fighter has kind of played out. There aren't many people tuning in. Dana White's Tuesday Night Contender Series has been brought out there. Would you be interested in doing something like that?
God, I will. Dude, this is why I train. Like, look around. I'm at the gym right now. I'm about to train for just this. After this interview, I'm about to train. Just this kind of moment, like short notice fight, long notice fight. I don't care. I'm ready for. I'm just ready for that big door to open. And when I step in, I'm never stepping out. Um, I love the contender series. I've watched the whole show. They usually pick 2 Nigerians per show, so I think I'm gonna be the next one. Let's just see how that goes.
And we're looking forward to it, man. This is the last question. How many times do you think you're going to fight this year?
Um, so last year, the beginning of the year was very slow. Like, I couldn't get any fights. It was so frustrating. And then towards the end, I ended up fighting 5 times in what, 3 4 months. So I'm just gonna stay healthy. I never get injured, but I don't want to jinx it. I never get injured or nothing. Like, I have a few bruises and all, but I'm always cautious about my body. I train hard, so whatever. I'm always on this fight shows like the Facebook page, looking for somebody to pull out a fight, and I'll see if I can hop in if it's a good weight class for me. That's like my number one priority. Like, if somebody backs out, I'm gonna hop in. So hopefully I fight at least 8 10 times this year. That would be great.
All right, man. We're looking forward to it. I want to thank you so much for your time for this interview. Before we let you go, we usually like to hand the imaginary microphone over to you. If you want to shout out your social media pages, sponsors, anything at all, the floor is now all yours.
I want to shout out to my coaches, my jiu-jitsu coaches. Guy is down in Team Octopus in Sanders Springs. I want to shout out to my gym here in Knuckle Up Fitness, Douglasville. They've done so much for me. And my main manager, Alex Bonweek, is working hard. I know he's gonna give me the right fights. He's gonna get me through these doors, and we see how it goes from there. And of course, thank you, Eddie, for this interview. It was really fun. I love talking about fights, and I hope I can do it again someday.
Yemi, I hope to have you back on after your next win. I hope to have you on when you make it to the UFC, because that's what it's all about. That's what we live for, and that's why I do this, man. Good luck. Thank you so much, and God bless. We're hoping for the best of skill moving forward.
Sir, thank you. Thank you so much.
Enjoy your night. There you guys go. Yemi Oduwole. Make sure to follow him on Instagram. Also, guys, subscribe down below here on YouTube. iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher, Spotify. It's all there. I'm Evil Eddie from Pure Evil MMA. White knuckles till the end. Remember, without evil, there's no purity. Behave yourselves.